match.
Yeah.
It is a women's strawweight bout between Tecia Torres, who's going up against Angela Hill. First, you got Tecia Torres, who is 12-5 and is the -135 favorite, and then you got Angela Hill, who is 13-9 and is the +115 underdog. How do you feel in this matchup?
Yeah, just like you said, man, this is a rematch 6 years in the making. But both are much better fighters than when they fought in 2015, but their approaches haven't changed dramatically. This fight is very interesting and could put the winner further up on the title contender list. Hill has the reach advantage and throws slightly more than Tecia Torres. She also makes good use of her knees and her elbows in the clinch, whereas Torres is at best when she can control the pace and throw punches and bunches. That's her favorite go-to kind of striking style, which usually gets her head on the scorecards. Tecia also shoots for takedowns, however, her accuracy isn't great, and sometimes she tends to hunt the takedown. Um, I expect this. I expect her to shoot for the takedown, to work Hill on the ground, while Angie is going to have to use her reach and leg kicks to keep Tecia at distance and give her control of the octagon. So with this, I think it's going to be a complete opposite of the first matchup because I think their games have evolved, and I think Angela Hill has evolved slightly more and has been more active in her fight career, whereas Tecia has been going to school and working on other stuff. So I'm going to go with Angie Hill by decision.
First, I got Torres. She's very quick and throws a blitz 1 and 2. Tessa uses her hands to bulldoze her opponents and mixes in kicks with her striking. She has a good variety of kicks ranging from jump switch kicks, the back kicks, the body kicks. She tends to be tentative versus long fighters, but is very athletic. She mixes in wrestling and goes for blast double leg takedowns. Her technique needs improvement and she uses more blasts than form, but she has good strike and defense and good IQ. Then you got Angela Hill, who comes in with a Muay Thai background and likes to use all 8 points of striking. She favors her right hand a lot and likes to use angles to attack her opponent. She uses a step to the right to set up the right hand and has a nice jab. In the clinch, she throws knees and elbows that are usually sharp. She doesn't know how to defend on her back, but has good striking defense. She tends to back up too much in fights, but then has decent cardio. I think in this fight, I think a big thing is the fact that, of course, they fought first
Yeah.
before, and they've both improved. But I think uh, to me, the difference is the level of competition that they've both fought. Of course, Angela Hill has always fought those people, the gatekeepers of the division. She's never really fought anybody truly great, whereas Tessa Torres has fought like everybody in like the top five. And just like it said before, she struggles against those long fighters. But with Angela Hill, she is kind of long, but she telegraphs herself too much. You can kind of pinpoint what she's going to do. It's all about that right hand. She might
Hmm.
use every type of strike, but uh, that when she's coming in with the right hand, because she's always making that side step before she throws it, and we don't know how she is on the back because she has been on there often because she hasn't fought somebody like that
Yeah.
except for Tessa, and I feel like Tessa is going to continue that same trend. Uh, I think she's going to be able to take her down, and when you take Hill down, she doesn't like that. She's like a fish out of water, and I feel like she's going to use that tactic, kind of minimize what you're going to get from Angela Hill, and then just kind of ground and pound her. And I I wanted to go knockout, but I'm going Tessa Torres by unanimous decision. I just think she has too much skill in her, and then one of them being the takedowns, and that's something that's going to affect Angela Hill too much in this fight.
Okay. I have 2 points to what you said. The first point is Angela Hill fighting the quote unquote gatekeepers. I think that's because she likes to stay active, so she'll take any fight that's offered to her. You know what I mean? I also think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have her entire career in front of me, but I believe she's fought Michelle Waterson, Angela Hill, and I believe she has also fought Claudia Gadelha, who have both been top five contenders. I think a lot of people just remember like the Ashley Yoder fights and stuff like that, but Angie Hill's been she's been doing this for a very long time and continues to just keep taking fights. You know, those, I would say like 3 or 4 of those 9 losses that she has are suspect split decisions. I think one of them was against Karate Hottie, and I think the other one
Yeah,
was either against Carla Esparza or Claudia Gadelia. But I think the difference is we're looking at Tecia Torres, who for a while hadn't fought in a while. You know what I mean? She was taking some time off, and we see her last fight where she dominated her last fight. But before that, there were 3 straight losses. You know what I mean?
but then you look at it. I'm looking at it right now. She has 5 losses and 5 losses. She
Hmm.
has a loss in 2016 against Rose Namajunas.
Yeah.
And then in 2018 and 19, she had 4 in a row there against Jessica Andrade,
Hmm.
Joanna Johacek, Zhang Wei Li, and Marina Rodriguez. All top 3 or top 4 fighters in 2 different weight classes because
Yeah,
of
but
the
that says one of two things, though, right? That says either Tecia Torres is a perennial contender,
yeah.
or Tecia Torres is filling in as a gatekeeper and welcoming these people, or tune-up fights sometimes. You know what I mean? And it's
But
how you gauge it. Like, I'm not,
yeah,
listen, I'm not going to argue with you because
yeah,
you picked Tecia Torres. She's a great fighter, but I just think that sometimes, like, the layoff too, right? Because she
yeah,
tends to take some time between fights. I think Angela Hill puts herself and her career in jeopardy because she is so active sometimes, but also puts herself and her career in good favor with the bosses because she's always ready to go. And I know she had she had fights with Amanda Hebas get canceled twice.
yeah.
Uh,
On both sides, it was
yeah,
both sides. But
but
but even with that point, Torres has fought twice a year, every year the past 4 years. So it's not like she has had a big layoff. She's still fighting twice a year
yeah,
against
you're right.
good competition. I just need to see what Angela Hill could do against the top 5 because
Yeah,
every time you think she's going to make it there, she loses and then takes a step backwards.
yeah,
Where Tessa Torres has been there, she has lost those big fights, but those names I read off are like the who's who
and her champions. Yeah,
champions. All of them have been champions at some
yep,
point, and she's made her way to that point. She just struggles against like the longer type fighters, and then everybody
yeah,
else she's beaten. So that's
and
what
she's good.
makes this. Yeah, that's what makes this a good matchup. Is Angela Hill is big, but
Yeah,
Angela Hill. That's why I go Torres. Is if you take Angela Hill down, it kind of mitigates anything that she can do because she's not
yeah.
very good on the ground.
It's definitely going to be a wrestle
Yeah,
approach, I think, with this for Tisha's camp. But I don't know, man. I think maybe sometimes Angela Hill, I'm sorry, takes on too much, not too much fights, but too much like side stuff because she's doing
yeah,
announcing and she's doing this and that, and like it might just take away from her time in the cage. And then
yeah,
sometimes it's just she doesn't do enough in the cage to get
yeah.
the judge's favor. But I mean, that's neither here nor there.